Hello everyone, welcome to another Lolo Sex Chat. My name is Lolo Cynthia. So today I want to talk about some little tips that makes it easier for you to navigate the parent-child dynamic, especially in an African home. Emphasis on if this parent is annoying. We know our parents can be quite annoying sometimes. I know in an African home it's very hard for our parents to see us as adults, as people with agency and independence. So there are loopholes that you can do to ensure that they see you as an adult, as someone who has agency. The first one is that you're going to have to begin to view your parents as adults like you. You are going to remove that clock over your eye that makes you see your parents as this superhero, where you believe that they should have superior moral ground, where you feel like they should be the one to continuously guide you. The traits or the emotions that you wish that they had in childhood, you're still waiting for them to bring it in adulthood. You're gonna have to let go of all of that and accept them as who they are right now. That's the first thing. You're gonna have to accept them as they are. When you accept them as they are, you are now going to look at those things that seem to, in quote, trigger them to act a certain way towards you that you don't find to be desirable. So a quick example can be, maybe your mom comes back from work and the first thing she enters and says, this house is dirty, this place is dirty, this kitchen, it can never be clean. Why? You know, because you're living in that house, you know that those are the things that trigger her. It might not be that the house is dirty, that's why she's angry. It could be that maybe she had a very rough day outside. She comes into the house, she wants to enter a very clean house, a neat house, and just sleep. Then she sees the plate in the sink. Could be 1 or 2 plates, but that's where she transfers all her anger. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you are not just seeing them as an adult, you are understanding the triggers, but you are linking it to a greater thing. You are not projecting her anger or his anger and say, it's me, I'm the cause, I'm the problem. I said it can be difficult because you want and assume. All of us want our parents to act the best way. All of us want our parents to be angry and not transfer the anger at us, but it doesn't happen that way. Why? Because they are human beings who are flawed. So if you continue to still hold on to that position where your mother, your father are superheroes, they should act exactly the way you expect every parent to act, you are giving them your power, because you are remaining in the position of the person that they cradled, that if they tell you to jump, you have to jump. You have no opinion, you have no say whatsoever. Right now you are an adult and you have a say, and you can change that dynamic by understanding why they act a certain way, by removing the little thing that seem to trigger them to act a certain way, by responding differently when they come back and act a certain way. So let's say your dad comes back and the first thing he's doing is shouting, where's this stupid boy, come and wash this plate, blah 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 blah. Usually you come in, you strong your face, you're angry, you're squeezing your face, you're upset. Of course your dad is shouting again. Instead of going there upset, squeezing your face, you are going to change the dynamic, because that's what you've been doing since you were a child. How about when the person calls you and the person is shouting blah 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 blah, you say, good afternoon, or daddy, what's up now, this one you're a bit angry, is everything okay? It's very little, but what that shows is you understand that he's not necessarily angry at you, but there might be something triggering. Is everything okay? Your father is beginning to see you as, okay, this one is asking me, is everything okay? Does it mean that we can have an adult conversation? Does it mean that if I share what is going on, I'm not piling on him, I'm not imposing my problems on him because he's a child? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it changes that dynamic where your father thinks if you are talking to him about something that you're worried about or something that you need, he has to automatically solve it. And if he is talking to you about something that is wrong, it's inappropriate because you're a child. You've changed that dynamic by asking, is everything okay? How was your day? That time you were telling me about this Baba Ade. Is Baba Ade okay? What's up now? You are starting a conversation that changes the dynamic from just mother daughter, father daughter, the person that I have to tell to do everything, to friendship. I'm not saying you guys need to be very close, but at least you need to be cordial. things that you would give your friends, the things that you would give that boy that you're dating the benefit of the doubt, you will never give it to your father, you will never give it to your mother, because you expect them to be perfect. So you want to take that away and see them as adults just like you. That's one. Second one, a very simple thing again, is to understand why they acted a certain way when you were a child. There's so much resent that we hold on to because we expected our parents to act a certain way. I'm not talking about, in quotes, abusive. No, I'm talking about maybe neglect. I'm talking about things that were unhealthy, that impacted us negatively. You want to go back and think about why they acted that certain way, so that you can have compassion for them, not to rob them of accountability. No. So let's say you have your five kids at home, and your mom, maybe she never had time to take care of you. Everything was just yaga. As an adult now, you're gonna think back and say, my mom was 27 years old when she had her 4th child. I'm 26 years old and I have 0 kid. How the hell was my mom coping back then? What that does, it gives you empathy, it gives you compassion to be able to view the past from a different lens. And by the time you view the past from a different lens, it's going to completely change the dynamic of the relationship you have with your father and with your mother. So that's one thing I want you to also keep in mind. I know it's hard. It's really hard, because it's much easier to say, my father they fuck up, my mom messed up, she's meant to do this, she's meant to have done this, she did me, this is abusive, she has made me have this mental disorder and this and this and this. It's so much easier to bask in that. It's because when you talk about it, there's so many people that have the similar experience. But what I want us to focus on is not on our parents. I'm focusing on you today. I'm focusing on what you can do to change the dynamic, to make it much more healthier, to make it much more conducive to live with them in the same house. Lastly, and the hardest, I need you to fight to be independent. And what that means is that you are gonna have to be ready to argue with your parents. You are gonna be ready to disobey your parents. If you have never told them, no, this is the time for you to start training, you are gonna disrespect them, in quotes. So if your parent says, usually, let me use a very simple example. Yes, so maybe you're growing up as a child and your parents used to make very negative remarks concerning your body as a child. Back then you couldn't say anything to them because you were a child, but as an adult now, they're still doing it. And instead of you to say something, you enter a room, you come online and you say, I don't know, parents are always body shaming, or you go into your room and you're crying, you're resentful. You're gonna stop it right there in the track. This your thumb is big, or is it good in this dress? You say, yes, I like it like that, it's good in this dress, I'm going out, so let's talk later. You stop it right there in the tracks. This thing you're wearing is a bit short, or why are you going out like that now? Why this your leg will be showing? I know it's a bit short, but that's actually what I like. Can't you see the weather is hot? Let's talk later. What you're doing is that you are responding and showing them that this is not the child that you used to know. If you say what I don't like, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. You have to train yourself to be able to disobey, to be able to disagree with your parents. That is another and the best way to show them that this is not just that child from before. You're not just going to say something and think I will not respond. Oh, when will you get married? That's the one I know a lot of women talk about. When will you get married? They should bring a boy, they should do this now. Because of you are still operating from that child, mother, superhero. When they say things like that you are not eager and you don't want to hear it, you can just swallow it and be like, I don't know yet. You come online and you are upset. You talk to your friend and you are upset. Don't do that. Make sure to stop it right there in the tracks. Make sure to let them know exactly what you think about what they are saying. Give an opinion. They need to know that you have an opinion concerning sort of these things. So these are just little hacks. I've tried it, so if I'm telling you it worked. These are just little hacks that make it much more easier for you to have a pleasurable, let's put it at that, and healthy relationship with your parents. Ensure that, one, you take away that lens of superhero where you believe that your parents have superior moral ground and they are not flawed. They are flawed human beings. They are just like the man you see on the road. They are like your friends. They just happen to be your parents. They are just humans like you. So when you take away that lens where you see see them as superhero, it makes it much easier for you to connect with them on an individual level. You recognize their humanity, that oh, she's angry, but it's not because of me, it's because of something else. What's up now? So take away that lens. The second one is to go back to the past and see the way they acted and understand why they acted that way. Not to rob them of accountability, but to give you compassion for them, to make it easier for you to deal with their excesses, to make it easier for you to deal with what happened in the past, and to also forgive, so that you are not resentful. The third one and the final one is to ensure that you fight for your independence by disobeying and disagreeing and giving your own opinion when they say something that you do not agree with. So that's my little tip for this week's Lolo Sex Chat. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to hear how you guys have been able to navigate the parent-child relationship in your home as well. I have stories for days, and I have been disobeying for a very long time, so it might seem like everything is all casual and my younger ones are benefiting from it, but I've been doing this for a very long time. It's going to be really hard. The disobeying has been there for a while, but learning to see them as not just superheroes is something that I had to learn in the past few years. And also not just holding on to what they didn't give me in childhood and hoping that they're going to give it to me in adulthood is also something I had to let go of not too long ago. So it works. It's hard, but it would help your relationship with your parents, and it will help you as an individual, not just when you're dealing with your parents, but when you're dealing with older people in general, especially again in the African climate. So if you can do this with your parents, it's going to be much easier for you to do this with adults in other places. So that's all I have for today's Lolo Sex Chat. My name is Lolo Cynthia. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's sex chat, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.